Welcome to Ticket Stubs and Popcorn. I'm Peter.
Hey everybody, I'm Frank. So this is what we're doing now.
Yeah,
So,
we're stuck in boxes now.
yeah, it's crazy. So the rest of the Brady bunch just has not shown up.
Well, how come Alice isn't there? She's supposed to be there.
I don't know. Anyway, so today we're this is we're doing Owen Wilson today.
We're doing Owen Wilson.
We're doing Owen Wilson today, and which kind of works in nicely with my with what I want to say, because it made me think of it when I saw that we were going to work with Owen Wilson. When Owen Wilson was doing Loki, and so many people saw him in Loki, they were like, there was all this talk on the nerd boards on the interwebs about whether they'll have him do his like signature, wow bullshit. And it went back and forth. So it got me to thinking about, does it, when an actor has something like that, did you expect to see it? Do you think it's annoying if they do show it? Does it take you out of it if they do? Like, so let's just talk about that after, because I have some thoughts. It's really just a reason for me to grind my axe about that whole thing. So
okay, all right, okay, I gotcha.
So Owen Wilson, I'm gonna go first. So I'm gonna start off with Loki. I loved him in Loki. I thought he was great in Loki. He was Loki's a great character. He commands respect, and he's got a great sense of humor, and he can be dangerous. But there was just Owen Wilson just right there to just shut him down at every turn, and just like, dude, you don't, all the stuff that you were able to do before, you can't do now. This is your life now. And then you go, as you find out more and more about that character within that universe or multiverse, it's really interesting. And he gets to be, sort of heroic, but you feel a little sad for him because maybe he had this other life going on. So I think that it showed some range for Owen Wilson, which I thought was really great. It was great to see him in the MCU. And I really enjoyed seeing him in that. He really added to the show, and it could have been a very boring, like that character could have been a very boring character in lesser actors' hands. But he was a good foil and then friend to Loki, which I thought was great. And it just, not only did it serve the plot, but it felt believable. Like their friendship toward the end of that season felt believable and real, and I liked it. I liked it quite a bit.
I really enjoyed that series, and I should just watch, binge watch the whole thing again.
Yeah, it was really good. I'm looking forward to more. My next would be in Zoolander as Hansel. That's got to be one of my favorite roles. He's just so funny in that, and he's got like, it's a role that sort of takes his hangdog kind of vibe and turned it into something a little bit even more like earthy, crunchy type of thing, which is such a stark contrast to Zoolander, who's just high fashion and just very intense. He's just so much laid back, and he's got his scooter, and he's so funny. It's just great. He's so laid back. He's so dumb, and they play off each other, but he's so dumb in a nicer way. Like Zoolander's stupidity, you almost feel bad for him because he's so dumb. But with Hansel's stupidity, it's almost like, oh, he's like a dumb little puppy.
Yeah, exactly.
He'll be fine.
Yeah, somebody moved the puppy's water dish. Oh,
but it's adorable. Whereas Zoolander's stupidity is, oh, he's gonna walk into traffic. Like that's gonna happen. But Hansel's stupidity is kind of endearing, and you just want to muss his hair a little bit. He's just so cute. Like a dumb, golden retriever, just, hey man, it's just like, hey buddy, how you doing, you dumb thing, you. So he's great. He's fantastic in that. And then he gets to do like a little romantic kind of tour when he does Wedding Crashers. He gets to be, he goes from being the sort of shallow wedding crasher dude to, it turns into a nice little love story. And I think it's very believable. He's a nice, he's got a nice back and forth with Vince Vaughn. I think that they're a good pairing. They're a good team together. Yeah. He's got this sort of laid back vibe, whereas Vince Vaughn has got that like rat-a-tat, like rapid fire pattern.
Mile a minute.
Yeah. And it worked. Like Vince Vaughn being Vince Vaughn is good. I think that we've talked before at one point about actors who, kind of play the same dude. For a while, Vince Vaughn was doing that. Then Vince Vaughn started doing some other stuff and got to be like, pretty interesting. But for a while there in the early to mid 2000s, it was Vince Vaughn just like like being that guy. So and I think that Owen Wilson is a nice it's a nice contrast to that. So if it was really weird because like my Zoolander pick was seriously a coin toss between that and what I'm sure is going to be one of yours for Royal Tenenbaum. So I'm going to hand it off to you with
okay. Well, thing. Surprise.
Really?
That is not one of my picks, and none of your three were on my list.
Really? That's very surprising. I really thought for sure Royal Tenenbaums would be
I know what you mean. I love that movie. Love the character.
I've already downloaded that poster.
But it's not. But it's not. It's not one of my picks. I love Owen Wilson's work. I really do. He's got a great association and great friendship before the working association with Wes Anderson. And so I always love to see him in a movie. I think he doesn't get enough credit, although he is Academy Award nominated for his writing for a screenplay, which he and Wes Anderson have done together for earlier movies.
Yeah.
So I want to start off with the first collaboration with Wes Anderson, Bottle Rocket. He plays Dignan, and Dignan is he's in the movie with actually two of his brothers. He's in with Andrew, who we don't see too often. He's really not much of an active actor. He just does it, I think, because the family could use somebody else,
a guy.
So he just does it. But he's not as much as the other two more famous brothers. But when Owen is in Bottle Rocket, which he co-wrote with Wes Anderson, and he's in the movie with his brother Luke more so than with Andrew. Luke has a bigger part. So Owen and Luke do not play brothers in the movie. They are friends. And Owen plays Dignan, and Dignan is just this guy who's trying to get his life together. He's young enough where he has a 75-year plan. This is his life. He's got it written out. Okay, we got to stick with this.
75.
And so he's got the 75-year plan.
Even the Soviet Union never had a 75.
Yeah, exactly. And thank God they didn't, because that didn't work out, I don't think, for 75 years. It was close. But so he's got the 75-year plan, but he's also got this friendship with the Luke Wilson character. And it's wonderful because he's just so he's so sincere. Not the brightest bulb on the thing. He's so sincere. He just wants this stuff to work out, and they're gonna do this. They're gonna try to make some money. They're gonna have adventures, and just a nice person. But he's not the greatest at what he does. But he's so sincere. He means so well. So that bottle rocket character of Dignan. I just love it. That's probably his first movie too, but I might be wrong about that one. I'm gonna shift gears, and we're gonna go second pick, and I loved him in Loki. I loved him in Meet the Parents, that little role that he has. There's this roles that I wanted to pick. Eli Cash within the Bill Tenenbaums. There were characters I said, I really like some of these characters he does. But I'm gonna go with as a second pick, one that we don't see him because it's all he's a voice artist in this one, the Disney movie, or the series actually, of Cars, where he's Lightning McQueen, and it's just like bam bam, he's just same thing. He's so he's just so, it's Owen Wilson's voice, and he's just so enthusiastic, and he's excited, and he's a little, he's not just flamboyant, he's a little cocky, let's face it.
A little?
He's this sports car, and he's in a world of other sports cars, and then suddenly he's in a world of other cars, not sports cars, other motor vehicles, because he's stuck out there. He's been impounded, and I just love it. You hear it. There's an infectiousness in his voice, and you hear it. And then there's the disappointment, and his voice is a lot more evocative than I would have imagined until I saw the movie. And I was like, oh, everybody obviously brings it. Obviously, just because of their voice, we don't see anything, but he's able to, we like never lose his character. He doesn't really take a back seat to, no car pun intended there, but he doesn't take a back seat to any of the other, vehicles and their lives, what's going on with them. It's a Disney movie. There are some younger moments, and so the story's great, but it's not maybe what you'd say high drama. It's we're like really involved and we're invested. It's a very good series. I love that series. But I just love it, and he's able to really pull off his scenes, whether it's with a heavyweight like Paul Newman, or just that goofball Mater, Larry the Cable Guy character. I know you do, but I like it. But the thing is, he's able. What I'm saying about the Owen Wilson work in this one, he's able to pull off his scenes with everybody. And
Mater, I hate Larry the Cable Guy.
Larry, he just said some bad things about you. Thank God you moved over.
That whole comedy series that he and who's that other idiot, Jeff Foxworthy, this celebration
of blue collar comedy, whatever that's called.
Working guys, whatever.
I like them. I like them. But anyway, I love Owen Wilson in Cars as Lightning McQueen. It's just good. It was refreshing to see it. I knew he would be capable of doing something like that one, but I think it was even, his work is more successful than I thought. It had more of an impact, let's put it that way. And so I really like that one. And my last one is, I'm going to go back to Wes Anderson, Darjeeling Limited, where he's the oldest of the three brothers, the Whitman brothers, and he's Francis, and Francis wants, it's a year or close to it has passed since their dad's funeral, which was kind of like the last time they were really together, and he wants to reconnect with his brothers, but being the oldest of the three, sometimes he's a little heavy-handed. He's know he's the older. You would know he's the oldest brother, and he's used to like writing out daily things, and he's passing them out. Oh, I made the arrangements for us.
So controlling.
Or he's like, Peter, you're gonna have the waffles, and you're it's like you're telling Jack he's gonna these are 3 adult men, and one of them is telling them what they're gonna eat for lunch. I'm gonna try the salad. You're gonna try this one. You're like, why are you doing this? And he's just he means so well. Things aren't going, and then later on, when you meet their mother, you realize he's just doing exactly what she apparently has done their whole lives growing up, telling them what to eat. You're going to try this. You're going to have this one. You'll really like this one. And there, you just realize in her absence, that's what he's doing. He's just doing that thing, but being the oldest one, he just assumes they're going to, he makes the plans, he makes the arrangements, and they're just, the other two, Jack and Peter, are just like these unwitting pawns of this kind of like enforced family reunion, although they are having an interesting time and a spiritual journey, which is what the Francis character, the Owen Wilson character, wants. They want him to have a spiritual journey. We're gonna learn about ourselves. I just love it. He's so damn sincere, but he tries so hard. And of course, things are not in their control. And life on the train is not in their control. There is a scene, a very poignant scene, where they rescue or attempt to rescue some boys from a flooded area. And it's just a great role, and we see a side of Owen Wilson sometimes that we don't see. He's the one who's kind of in command, not really, but he's a little more so than the other two, because he's trying to force the issue. And I just love to see him in that one. I loved his work in Loki, Mobius, and I love him. I really enjoy his work. There's a certain character there that I don't know. I'm not. He always resonates with me.
Yeah. I can't think of anything that I like that I don't like him in. He's pretty likable.
Yeah, I mean, certain movies might not be
great.
Yeah,
but
like
he's
always Taylor or something. But he's always giving his all.
I saw an interview or heard an interview with him on
I'm
like
not sure
NPR
if this is me
or
if this is you. Some car alarm out there.
It's not me.
Okay,
so
it must be in my neighborhood then.
Yeah. So I heard him on some NPR interview or something. He just seems like a pretty laid back guy. And, he likes to, he's competitive with his brother, and they just hang out.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's always been a cool guy. But he's got that wow thing. And like I said, there was some people who there was actually a statement from Marvel that said, they don't intend on having, whoever was running the Loki show, they don't intend on having Mobius say, wow, which I think was good, because it's sort of like, that just takes you way out of it. It's like, you've got.
It does. I don't think it's fair to anybody either.
Right. It's like Matthew McConaughey and his all right. Foolish. You don't need to do it. Or you get Al Pacino with his Woooow from that one movie that, when anybody thinks of Al Pacino movies, Scent of a Woman is at least 6th on their list, just in terms of remembering that it exists, Right. But I just think that stuff like that ruins whatever they sort of try to shoehorn in. So I'm glad that they didn't.
I'm glad they didn't either.
Yeah, because it would just be like, why would we pay?
I don't think it's necessary. I mean, if it's a spoofy sort of a thing, I want to say, I want to say that the animated character in Moana of Dwayne Johnson, where he does an eyebrow, his character does the eyebrow lift, which he used to be famous for as a wrestler. but that's a joke. They're making fun of that character
right,
that
and
he did, and that works. That's fine. But to stick something in an otherwise serious, thought-provoking series like Loki, yes, are there lighthearted moments? Yeah, but it never would have fit with that with the Mobius character.
As much as Marvel does do like they'll reference, like they reference Pulp Fiction on Nick Fury's grave, that type of thing. But it's just like to put in like a line, it just would have been icky. I just think it would have been more eye rolling than anything else.
If it takes you that far out of it, it takes you long enough to get back into it again, and you don't need.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's unnecessary.
No,
so I don't know.
It used to be a big deal on like TV sitcoms. If you could get your character to have that catchphrase, that's great. But it's always within that world. You wouldn't take it out and then stick it in something else. It doesn't. Yeah, I'm surprised to hear that somebody even thought that needed to be in there.
Yeah, exactly. I remember when Loki was out, and they would, is he gonna do it? Is he gonna do it? And Marvel finally just came out and said, no, it's dumb. We're not gonna do it.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was.
Owen Wilson, he's also very good in Midnight in Paris, which is a Woody Allen movie.
Yeah,
he's great in that one because he actually is the lead in that movie, and he's very good in that one. That just didn't quite make cut up there.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
He's very good. I love his one time my wife and I were at the racetrack a few years back, and just out of nowhere, we're like, is that Owen and Luke Wilson right there? And they're like, they owned a horse together. There could have been other people, but they were the faces of the owners anyway.
They were the faces of the horse.
Yes. Yeah, nice. The horse had a broken nose. It's the strangest thing. He had a moppy blonde wig and a broken nose. It was the strangest horse I've ever seen. But they were there, and then their horse actually won. So they were in the winner's circle for the photographs and stuff too. So I was like, yeah, there they are. They're just there at a racetrack.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Cool. All
right. I love his work, and I think
great.
we do forget earlier. Maybe he's doing it now, but definitely earlier his collaboration, screenwriting wise, anyway, with his good friend Wes Anderson was, to me, very successful. Those because he's got the writing credit along with Wes Anderson for, I want to say, Bottle Rocket, Rushmore, and Royal Tenenbaums. After that, I don't think as much, but I don't know. I appreciate his work. Always,
I always like him.
Yeah, always like him. Even if it's a bit role, he has fun with those, like not Wedding Crashers, Meet the Parents or Zoolander. Those are smaller roles, and they're still fun. They're great.
Yeah. You got the bucket.
I do have the bucket. And just a second. Admit one. Yes.
All right. Great.
I will okay, I'll share it with you at some point.
Okay. All right, folks. So thanks everybody for watching and listening and all that really cool stuff. Check out some of the links down in the comments. We've got merch. We're promoting again for that t-shirt company, Flock Designs. They got some pretty cool t-shirts and mugs and cool stuff like that. One of which was one of my designs. So they're doing that. So, you can put in the promo code popcorn15 and get 15% off.
If you don't like these mugs, you can always check out the podcast.
Yeah, you could do that too. Yeah, we're much better on the podcast where it's easier to on the eyes. So yeah, that's it. We'll see you next time. Thanks.
Take care.
Bye-bye.